Welcome everyone to State of the Game for the 9th of February 2017. Still feels weird to say 2017. I can't believe it's 2017. I guess that's 5 days until Valentine's Day. Anyway, you better have plans. I don't. Not important. PTS is closing tomorrow. 1.4 has been very, very interesting, and I'm very, very excited. PTS 4 has gone great. Did I say 1.4 or PTS 4? I don't know. This is the thing. When Yannick isn't here, I have no one to correct me. I mean, Peter can yell from the other side of the room. That'd be great if you could do that. That'd be fantastic. But hi, everyone. How are we doing? When Yannick's not here, we seem to have more viewers. But that's not going to happen today. It's a fallacy. Anyway, I didn't mean to say 1.4 if that's what I said. PTS 4. Anyway, like I said, and you'll be seeing some news run along the bottom, PTS 4 is closing tomorrow. We still don't have a time for that just yet, but it will be during our office hours tomorrow. But we still need you to give feedback on the forums. Gabe was telling me, and he'll correct me in chat if I'm wrong, but the PTS forums will be closing tomorrow as well, but we really need you to continue the conversation and your feedback on the forums as well. I have noticed that people have recognized that we are more active over on the forums than we are on places like Reddit and that sort of thing. We're trying to shift that conversation into the forums, which are really, really good for us, and we can make those really actionable things happen there. So forums.ub.com, go to the division, and then you'll find us there. I am not running completely alone, so in a few seconds we're going to, so you can tell I've got this earpiece in, this just in, something interesting. Anyway, but before I get to our special guest, there's a few things to go through. There is no release date at this time for 1.6 and Last Stand. We will be getting that out to you when it's clarified, but the thing is, because PTS 4 is closing tomorrow, we still have a lot of work to do, right? There's a lot of things that need to be implemented and that sort of thing. Anyway, our guest will know more about that in a second. A few interesting things that are happening. Critical hit chance coming back to SMGs is very, very cool, in my opinion. But I've already seen that kind of shift the meta already. We'll see Keith's thoughts on that very, very soon. Sprint and reload is something I'm going to be talking to Keith about as well. But I can confirm as well that level 34 extended mags, the crafting, that will be fixed as well come 1.6. All right, I feel very, very lonely. So we're going to see if we can get Keith on. I was actually going to troll you really hard, Keith, and see if I could get a Smeagol picture that just would show up. But can we hear you? Test, test.
Hello.
All right, we do hear you.
Can you hear me?
We do. Peter, we might need to just bump that volume a little bit. A little bit. Anyway, no, I think you're good. Just yell, dude.
Thanks for holding off on the Smeagol picture. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry. Terry is currently busy.
He's a busy man.
He's a busy man. Anyway, but it's not a problem because Keith knows more than Terry anyway.
Don't tell Terry. Don't tell Terry that, but
it's true.
Between you and me.
So I see you've got a cup. I've got my Redstorm cup.
I brought my Binding of Isaac cup.
Solid. I'm drinking peppermint tea. I thought, screw it. I'm going to go whole hog. Water's not enough. Peppermint tea.
Oh, yeah.
Just to keep me relaxed.
Nice. Fancy.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Anyway, so how have things been over at Redstorm for the PTS for you guys? I mean, I know we talked a little bit ago, but a lot has happened since we talked through various PTS phases. How's it been going for you guys?
I don't think we could have anticipated the amount of, constructive feedback we've got. Yeah. But also how much work we've been able to get done since the PTS went live and we started gathering all that feedback. Both the stuff off the forums and Reddit, but also just all the back-end analytics stuff. I don't know. This is the first time in my career that I've had this type of, live early build out to the community and been able to make these types of changes before it's all out there, and it's been incredibly useful. It's been great. Exactly.
So, I didn't actually introduce you. I assume that people who are watching this stream have seen Keith before and know who you are. But if they don't know, well, firstly, if you don't know who I am as well, we shouldn't presume that you do. My name is Hamish. I am one of the community developers here. Usually I have a French guy sitting beside me, but I'm okay. I'm going to manage. Keith, can you let the folks at home know who you are, what you do, all of that sort of stuff?
Keith Evans, lead designer here at Redstorm, working on, Last Stand and DZ North and, a lot of cool stuff in 1.6.
There you go.
Yep.
So, like day to day, let's say you come into the office, you go into the studio at Redstorm. What are some of the things you're looking at? You're looking at, like you said before, there's a lot of analytics you guys are getting. What kind of stuff are you guys tracking?
So, I mean, we're tracking a lot of stuff, especially like we want to know the engagement level of the different mechanics in Last Stand. So a lot of our analytics are focused on, like how many matches are all the tactical boosts, actually activated by teams, or how many matches are people going after pulse versus fortifications first, things like that, which, has been really useful. We've been making a lot of kind of tweaks along the way. Like in PTS 4, we've added the critical text notifications that let you know when their tactical boosts are coming online.
Yeah,
that's
really cool.
Feedback.
I experienced that today, and it was I was like, oh, that's actually a really cool change. There's one of the things that I would find interesting, and I don't know if you guys have this data or if it's something that we could look at, is like the win percentage of teams that use tactical boosts, because I think they are undervalued by the community. That would be my perception.
No, it is that we do have that. I don't have the exact stat, but it is a big margin. People who go in and they're only focused on just killing at B, and they're holding down B. They're doing a great job. But teams that aren't diversifying and going out and getting the tactical boosts, they tend to lose. So I think as the game kind of progresses and stays out there and people start developing even more strategies, we're going to see closer and closer games.
Yeah, I think so too. You might not be looking at it now, but people are already calling you out on your notoriety in the Tap Titans community. Is that is that something that's still happening?
Sadly, it's on and off, but I think collectively Redstorm, there are multiple players who have over like 100 hours in Tap Titans. It kind of became a thing, and we spread it to Massive for a little bit and to ETF2. So we're doing damage basically.
There you go. I haven't tried it anyway.
It's a great game.
Okay. So for PTS4, you guys you were saying that you were focusing on specific things. What were your specific focuses for PTS4, and kind of how did those changes how did they go?
Yeah, I mean, first off, right off the bat, it was testing some of the new stuff we'd put in, like the more lethal turret fortifications, which have proven to be a little bit more effective, and then also just seeing how the straight up PvP feels with all the awesome balance work that Frederick and the guys at Massive have been doing.
Yeah.
And we pretty quickly were happy with the fact that build diversity felt higher. People are using SMGs, people are using marksmans. Assault, obviously, still a big part of the game, but you're not always running up against the same builds.
Yeah.
And so then we really started looking at fine-tuning a few Last Stand mechanics, namely fortifications, making them even more impactful to help you defend, and then looking at kind of reducing the level of kind of spammy combat mechanics inside Last Stand specifically. So those are kind of the two things we're targeting right now.
All right, so when you mean spammy combat mechanics, what specifically are you guys looking at?
So they're basically, because of the way you're able to change your build now with like skill haste going into the signature skills, people are popping them a lot in Last Stand. You're always with a group of 4 in most cases. And that's just led to a lot of combat resolving with SIG skills. So we don't want to straight up remove them from the encounter because they're a critical part of the game. And a lot of players, that might be the thing that pushes them over the edge and gets them a couple kills when they have to go take a tactical boost.
Yeah, of course.
So what we are doing is we want to make it a little more of a choice when you choose to use it. So they're going to start on a cooldown, so you won't have them available immediately.
Cool.
And we're elongating their cooldown slightly from the main game while you're playing in Last Stand.
All right.
So you'll still see them, but you're not going to see them at the rate you see them now.
Do you know off the top of your head how long it will be until those are up, or is that?
Yeah, we're still kind of fine-tuning the exact level that we're going to start the cooldown level at. But right now, if just a normal build that hasn't like spec'd into skill haste, we'll have theirs up before like the halfway part in a match.
Okay, cool. All right. So my mind first goes to various skills that reduce your signature skill cooldown. Will those apply to that?
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
So you can still get your sig skill up faster. That's still totally a thing. Players who have, gone and tried to build that way will have more availability of it. So just kind of like with the normalization, we still want to respect all your build choices, but we're just, we've heard a lot of feedback from the community that they want the level of their impact to be less constant.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's really. I see. Again, there's a lot of things happening in chat. I'll try and pick out a few things. I know someone was asking about the MP5 blueprint that the PS4 missed out on. We did say that we would try and do that. You're right, but we looked at it, and I said this a long time ago that was not something that we could do. So, I'm sorry. I think though that there is an MP7 blueprint on the live game right now, and maybe chat can correct me if I'm wrong. Definitely go and pick that up. I need to do that. I'm going to miss out if I don't go and grab that MP7 blueprint.
I need to do that too.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it's an MP7 blueprint, right, chat? Yeah. Go and check it out. The other thing I want to address, and we do know about it, is server performance. People are reporting that it is not great right now. We hear you. I see you, chat. We are working on identifying exactly the cause of that server performance, and as soon as I have updates, I will let you know. Believe me, we want our servers to work very, very, very well. It's frustrating for us. I know I was talking to Gabe about it earlier. He's experienced that, what you guys are reporting at home. So we do know that the server performance right now is not in a good place. But when I have updates for you, I will let you know. Unfortunately, I don't have more information for you today, apart from that I went and talked to some people who are working on these things, and Keith knows that people at Redstorm are working on similar things as well to make sure that server optimization is a priority. Yes?
Absolutely. Smart people are on it.
Yeah, I mean, much smarter than ourselves. Like, trust me. Like, when people are like, hey, Hamish, fix the servers, I'm like, oh, you do not want me to touch anything like that.
You just reset them, right? You press the power button, you
Do
wait
it.
15 seconds.
Just have you tried turning it off and on again, Keith?
Yeah.
Please. No, but seriously, jokes aside, it's not fun to experience lag, especially in our type of game. This isn't a Civilization type game. This is something entirely different. No, it's not slamming Civilization. Come on, man. I've played Civ like crazy. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. Come on. All right. Enough.
Yeah.
Enough about that. So, is there anything that we can expect, Keith, between now or tomorrow, more accurately, between the close of PTS 4 and the live deployment of 1.6 and Last Stand? What are you guys focusing on in that kind of period?
So besides the kind of SIG skills, we're also going to cut back the amount of grenades and medkits you get constantly every time you come back from a respawn. So you'll still be getting resupplied. It'll just be a little less, basically along the lines of SIG skills. Every fight won't be people chucking, 4 frag grenades. You'll have to be a little more choosy with when you want to use them, which I think is good. It just makes the game feel more tactical. And then we're kind of focusing pretty heavily on fortifications. So, we felt like the PTS 4 change on damage was good, made them a little more lethal, made you be able to trust that they were going to help you out. But now we're targeting some actual, some AI behavior changes. So if you're shooting them from a concealed position, they'll still kind of target at you and suppress you. So they just have a bigger presence on the battlefield. And then on the pulse fortification, which is actually super useful for defenders. We've definitely seen, it's super useful, but we've definitely seen it get purchased less often. So one thing we want to do there is give you a little bit of a boost. So it's going to get the tactical scanner mod that your personal pulse skill can have. So it'll give you a slight crit bonus, damage bonus against pulse targets.
That's really good, and it's
so
still.
We really want to encourage.
You go. Sorry. You go.
Oh no, we just really want to encourage, people to feel comfortable leaving 1 or 2 people behind to defend.
Okay. Is it still the same cost? I think it's $250, right?
Yeah,
okay.
we're keeping them. They'll be the same cost. That's feeling pretty good. You can get 3 of them on pretty immediately, and then maybe farm just a little to get your pulse on.
Yeah.
So we want to keep that where it is.
All right. Sorry, I just got to clarify a couple of things for chat. When I said that, focusing on tomorrow, I meant that PTS is closing tomorrow, and then between that point and when 1.6 and Last Stand release, this is what Red Storm will be focusing on.
Yeah.
To confirm, 1.6 and Last Stand do not drop tomorrow, if that was not clear already. We do not have a date for that yet, but as soon as we do, we'll be screaming that from the proverbial rooftops.
Yes.
We also, I do notice some people mentioning that solo players are being affected by certain things. We are looking into that as well. I spoke to Drew about that a little bit earlier, so hopefully we can get Drew on here to talk a little bit more in the coming weeks about that situation as well. What else do we have? Yes, PTS is closing tomorrow. We don't have any word on, I know people are asking all the time about year 2 and that sort of thing. I've got nothing for you, I'm afraid. All right, sorry, it's going very, very quick. Very, very quick. All right. If you guys do have reports of someone saying Coolheaded not working on their Caduceus, fix it. I will pass that on. I will say this. Comments in Twitch are very, very hard to consolidate and pass on. It's good that I can see chat and I can get a read of a lot of the issues, but it is way, way better if you post on the forums about specific issues, because then we can pass those on to the people that have to fix them. For example, it is much better for me to go to a specific designer if I came to Keith, right?
We've been pulling stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of information on the forums. That has impacted what you guys have been doing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the things we definitely were looking for the most amount of feedback on was our approach to normalization. We wanted to, really make you feel like you can walk into Last Stand with whatever build suits your playstyle. And we feel like the PTS4 version of it we're hitting a good spot. But even on PTS4, we had tons of live reports of, specific talents not getting upgraded in normalization, things like that. And so we've been pulling all those reports from the live team and fixing them for release. So it's been really useful.
Yes. Someone says, do you have a QA team or are we it? Of course, we do have a QA team. But
we have an awesome QA team.
But here's the thing. The amount of data that we get from the PTS is super, super valuable. So, of course, we get a lot on the PTS that we probably might miss otherwise. It's just a numbers game. And also because we want our players to give us feedback. Obviously, we have technical issues, which we solve internally as well as with the help of you guys. But that feedback and those kind of experiences that we get feedback on from you guys, it's invaluable. It truly is. And when you see the change from PTS1, PTS2, it's kind of like this, PTS3, PTS4, and we're starting to hone in on that good feeling, which I was playing today, and I noticed that I was killed by every different weapon type today. I think only once by an LMG, to be fair, but it was great to see other weapons, popping up as well. So that's a good feeling. Other things to clarify, Season Pass covers Last Stand DLC, yes. And it will be released on all platforms at the same time. So you won't have that delay on PS4 like you did before. 1.6 and Last Stand, all platforms, all at the same time. We just don't have a date for that yet. Keith, is there anything else that, hang on, how are we doing for time? It's kind of like
20 minutes.
We're 20 minutes in?
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty good. That feels good. We got some time. Keith, what have kind of been the biggest surprises for you from the PTS? I mean, obviously you go into this process thinking, we'll tweak a few things, We didn't actually talk about sprint reload. That's what I wanted to talk about. How did that go for you guys?
Well, I mean, for us, it was one of those things where we really wanted to test it, and it was a very split reaction from the community. We, ultimately decided to not push forward with it for 1.6 for now, and partially it's because we didn't want to force people to feel like they were relearning the game, especially the PvP game that they've kind of grown accustomed to. We wanted them to still feel like they're kind of in the same rhythm, the same dance, even if we're improving things along the way. And so that feeling of, rushing into battle and reloading your gun and then getting there and having an empty mag, we felt like we were already giving the player a lot to learn with 1.6 in the last stand game mode. So it felt like a good thing to hold back for later. But we got a lot of good data about it. I know there's members of the community who are really passionate about it, that they felt like it made the game a lot more tactical. So, it's definitely something we're keeping in mind.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things that, we tried it out, and it'd be cool to really consider looking at it again and really kind of tailor that solution that mechanic would work for, and kind of polish it up a bit and see if it's something that we could bring in.
There were definite benefits while it was up. Sure. Definitely.
All right. What else do I have here that I wanted to ask you? That's kind of it. Was there anything else that I asked you before about surprises before we got into the sprint reload discussion? Were there any big surprises for you or other folks at Redstorm?
Well, one thing was we had basically, like we said in the very beginning, like normalization version 1 up in the very beginning. And I think if you look back at what we were doing then, we were much more heavy-handed trying to rein in the RPG, right? And try to balance it the way other games have done their normalization. And it just kind of immediately started feeling like you weren't playing your character. And that kind of came out of seeing the community and all the different build types they were using, right? So I think each iteration of it has kind of pushed further to respecting all the time you put into the game, letting you play the character you want to play. But I think we're ending at like a level where, like this morning, I grabbed the Defiler from the rewards vendor and took it into Last Stand and killed someone with it. A level 5 weapon, which was pretty cool. It was a neat thing.
Is it the new meta though? I guess we'll see. Defiler new meta?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, but that'd be cool. I mean, I like the Defiler.
It's a pretty awesome looking gun. It's cool to be able to use it.
I'm gonna have to try it out. What so I mean, you play this mode a lot, obviously. What are some of the builds that you've been running and strategies you've been employing?
My big thing on the PTS has been trying to play with stuff that was kind of outside of the core meta, not doing a ton of grinding, honestly, and like setting myself to a straight level 30 character, opening a few caches, equipping just basic stuff, re-rolling a few items, but not trying to go into super min-max builds, because a big piece of what we've been trying to test is, once this goes live, once we have a huge player base, are we all going to be able to jump in and have a competitive PvP experience? So far, I haven't been doing super kind of my live builds, but I have a couple builds ready to go that I'm looking forward to try on my real character. Namely, I'm excited to see how my Firecrest build plays. I'm excited to use Deadeye and Marksman, which I haven't been doing on the PTS. So I'm looking forward to it going live for sure.
Yeah, Deadeye SVD is very, very powerful right now. We're gonna have to.
It's pretty powerful.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
But we will definitely do that. Here we go. Yes or no question. Will you be able to roll new major minor attributes on gear that was obtained in 1.5? That would be a question for Frederick, but yes. Anyway. Yes. I think I understood what you were saying. That's a question for Frederick. I'll leave that.
Sure. I don't want to say the wrong thing either.
Rip Deadeye? No. I mean, we got to keep an eye on these things. I mean, I think it'd be great to have some snipers in the meta. I mean, you guys know, if you've been watching the stream,
Absolutely.
I'm almost always running snipers because I am terrible at close quarters combat. As bad as I am at headshotting from a distance, I play that cowardly role, which I love, and sometimes it works.
I think that's been the most exciting thing from just a pure gameplay standpoint out of PTS 4 is that, we've been seeing people holding back with sniper builds and covering a street and other people rushing points with SMGs, and just that dynamic it's making the game fresh. It's making the combat feel very dynamic.
Yeah, I think the urban MDR is an interesting one to look at as well. That was that was very, very, very cool. Snipers, yes. Snipers from 5 feet away, no thanks. Well, I was talking to Frederick, and
exactly.
You guys need to. So when people were saying like snipers from 5 feet away, it's broken if Deadeye is allowing you to hip fire. Is that happening? If so, that is broken. It needs to only work when you're zoomed in, scoped.
Yep.
So if folks can prove that it's working from hip fire, please let us know, because I haven't tried it myself, so we need to see.
Do not want that.
No. You shouldn't be hip firing. Some say yes, some say no. All right. Anyway, no. So one guy says yes, and 2 people. Okay, a lot of people say no. Anyway, I would be worried about that.
Yeah, we can look at that.
All right. Guys, for the weapons questions, I'll have to have Frederick back on. People asking about things like burst fire weapons. Anyway, we'll get to those. Keith, anything you want to say to the community before we head off?
Oh man, just thank you for actually giving feedback and playing it. And I know there's been deltas and crashes, and we've been testing things, but there's always been an active player base up there on the PTS giving great feedback, and I'm really excited for us to be able to finish it up strong and release 1.6. I'm very excited.
All right, man. Well, now that we see, this seems to be working pretty well. Now that we've got the Skype set up working okay.
I like hanging out with you.
You've got and IU, Keith, and IU. I mean, don't tell Terry, but you're my favorite. You're my favorite.
I won't tell Terry,
you know this.
And you don't tell Yannick.
All right. Oh, this feels naughty. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. But what we will do is we'll get you guys on more, which is very, very cool. And you got a better microphone now. You guys are gonna set up that room so we can get some cool stuff happening.
So fancy.
I know, dude. It's so good. We should probably get a haircut. Nah. Screw that. Nah. It's not worth it. All right, dude. I'll let you go. I'm gonna finish up the stream, but I'll say goodbye to you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Okay?
All right.
All right. Peter, if you want to switch back, fantastic. Let me just boop and hang up. There we go. I can take this little earpiece out and everything. No cheating on Yannick. I don't know. All right. So before I get out of here, like this. There are issues with the game right now. Specifically, I get a lot in chat at the moment of server lag is the biggest thing that people are talking about a lot, and I will be chasing that up. We're continuing to chase that up and get as much news for you guys as I can on those sorts of things. Obviously, we want that to be fixed because that's not fun. The other things that I want to continue to do, last week we had some really, really cool, was it last week? Yeah. Man, it seems like ages ago. Some cool content from our community. We have great cosplayers, we have great artists, we have amazing content creators who do really, really cool things with the Division universe. And I don't want to stop showing you that stuff. So with that being said, this is my segue, Eidolon Fox, who is an awesome voice inside our community, has this awesome cosplay that we could take a look at right here. He sent this through, and I'd seen it a long time ago. If you hadn't seen it, it's very awesome. You can follow Eidolon Fox on Twitter, and he'll continue to keep doing awesome cosplays, I'm sure. That's Survival AK, though. Solid. Eidolon Fox, are you in chat, dude? You might be. Anyway, love that guy. Lots of cool stuff. But also, I promised I would do a Fei Lao cosplay at some point. I'm working on it. I promise. Eidolon Fox, if you are there, thank you for continuing to be an awesome, positive part of the community. You're the best. But also, if you want to send through cool stuff that I can print out and put on the wall, or just show off on State of the Game, whether it's like awesome videos or cool fan art, that sort of thing, cosplay, all the cool stuff. State of the Game at massive.se. That'll come straight to me, and we'll get that over to you. The other thing that is coming up that I'm excited about, and had anyone said this to me when we started off doing this channel and I was like, hey, let's do like a weekly stream where we talk about things in the game. We'll call it State of the Game and we'll do that in this random converted office space that is, to be fair, not ideal, but it works. Had someone said that we'd be closing in on 5 million views and we're up to like 110, well, we're closing in on 110,000 followers, I wouldn't have believed them. But we are closing in on 5 million views, which is crazy. In light of that, I want to do a giveaway at 5 million. Can we do that, Peter? We can do a giveaway, right?
Sure.
All right, we'll do a giveaway at 5 million views. I don't know if we're hitting it today or tomorrow or next week. All I know is that we were very, very close. Okay? So, giveaway. I don't know what it'll be. Maybe we'll do one of those packs of stuff.
Big pack.
Big pack. Peter says big pack, and he's kind of the gatekeeper of giveaway stuff right now. So, what, like a hat, one of those mugs, what else?
Some dog tags.
Dog tags, a book maybe, t-shirts,
Maybe a hoodie.
a hoodie, all that sort of stuff. Anyway, whoever wins will get a lot of stuff. We'll probably, if that happens today or tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow on my stream in the morning, I guess. Maybe. Or we'll do it next week. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of all for now. Yeah, anyway. There's a lot of random questions that just, this isn't the place. An agent watch. An agent watch I cannot do. We don't have separate watches, unfortunately. Those were in the Sleeper Agent edition. I don't know. I have some hair from Streamer House. I have to think of things to give away. Shave my head at 5 million? Nah, dude. No. I want that couch you're sitting on. You know what? Like, not yet. But if we ever get another like space for like an actual studio, and I bought this couch for like 400 krona, which is what, like 60 bucks. Maybe we'll do a couch giveaway if anyone can pick it up.
Rip budget.
400, and I'll gladly give away the tables that I made. Like, because that cost nothing. Made it myself. Because it's literally nothing. It's a pallet bolted to, it's another pallet. Anyway. Will Lone Star be reworked? Not in 1.6, no. The hunter is lurking. Oh my god. Wipe the stains off. This is a very clean couch. I'll have you say that. To reiterate, no release date for 1.6 in Last Stand. PTS is closing tomorrow, but keep giving your feedback. That's it. Anyway, I'm going to head off. Thanks for hanging out. The other thing that I don't remind people often enough of, if you're just tuning in now and you want to know what happened before, one, there's the past broadcast that you can check out, or you can go on your favorite podcast syndication platform, iTunes, SoundCloud. I think it'll show up on like Pocket Casts, Podcast Addict, all of those random podcast gatherers. And I'll put that podcast up after this. The other thing that would be awesome, although now I'm going to regret this, because angry people will go and give us 1 star on iTunes. But if you want to give us a good review on iTunes, or an accurate review, and I hope it's good, you could do that. That'd be nice, because then more people will get to hear about what's happening in the state of the game. In before 1,000 people give us a 1 star review. I regret everything. All right. I'm going to head off now. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Okay? See you later. Bye.